Back to the Poke Historian. I'm your host, Matt X. Tonight we're doing another episode of the Card Art Gallery. I wanted to look at one of my favorite Pokemon artists that not a lot of people talk about, which is Hajime Kusajima. He's been in the game for a long time, and I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and take a look at every card he's ever done. So without further ado, let's jump into it, shall we? Here we have the Celebi Pokemon Forever promo. Forgot he did this one. Love all the clocks in the background there. Oh, here's one of my absolute favorites. The Oh-Ho-Oh from Skyridge. You got the Nazca lines down there on the ground. If you don't know what those are, check them out on Google. It's ancient lines that are carved into certain portions of South America, and they were made by certain Native American tribes. And we don't exactly know why that was, but that's what this card's trying to capture here. Beautiful artwork. What else we got? Okay, we got Alakazam. We'll look at the regular version of that card soon. He did this coughing here. This one's wild looking. Very realistic. Got this nice Abra here. This is a pretty cool card. And you get like other Abras right here on the left and right side. Must be using Teleport or something maybe, or Confuse Ray. Who knows? Oh, and he also did the Kadabra. Again, very kind of realistic looking. Neat. And speaking of realistic, here is an incredibly, almost too realistic looking Weezing. Huh. I don't think that's one of my favorites. So yeah, he's been doing cards for a very long time. Probably one of his most famous cards actually is this Mew right here. A lot of people absolutely love this card. Beautiful, beautiful. Trying to figure out exactly what's going on in the background. It looks like maybe is Mew underwater here and this is like underwater vegetation? Or is it in some ethereal plant land? I don't know. Very expensive card. I didn't know he did the Meganium. And here's that Alakazam we saw earlier. Easier to see it here. Meditating. Here's the holographic version of that Weezing. Holographic Mew. All these are from Expedition. Alakazam again. Here's one of my favorites, the Zapdos from Aquapolis. Love this card. You can just feel the electricity surging out of it. Tentacruel. Didn't know he did that one. One of the better Steelix cards, I would say. Again, very realistic looking. This might be the best Muck card we've had. I just love the details in the background, all the colors. It's very, very different. Here we got the Houndoom from Aquapolis. Gotta pick this one up someday. Aquapolis has so many great cards, y'all. I did a card art gallery episode where I looked at every card from Aquapolis a while back. That's probably one of my favorite ones to do. I do believe it's one of the most underrated Pokemon sets, if not the most underrated. We got Tentacool swimming through some ancient ruins. Onyx. Oh, that's beautiful. Again, Aquapolis. Just don't see artworks like that anymore. Magnemite. Love the colors on this card. There's the Zapdos, the non-holographic variant. There's the Tentacruel. You can see some ancient ruins now in the background. There's the Steelix, making its way through the land. See some tree roots. There's the Muck. There's the Houndoom. Here we got Starmie from Skyridge. It's a beautiful card. Magneton from Skyridge. This is probably one of the most stylized Magneton cards I've ever seen. Look how small the magnets are on them. It's just kind of funny looking. Like, what the heck are they looking at? They look absolutely frightened. Speaking of being frightened, Mag Cargo looks kind of creeped out too. It's alright, man. We're just scrolling through all the artworks by Kusajima. Another Skyridge card, one of my absolute favorites that I really need to pick up, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Almost did over the weekend. We got the Articuno. Such a beautiful card. Definitely one of his best. Here we got the Ho-Oh again. Houndour. I like the way the landscape looks here. Almost kind of looks like a comic book or something, I'd say. Here's the Starmie. I remember like with Skyridge, like there was something with like these like rock formation circles like out in this field, like it was some kind of like story element or something for what was going on in Skyridge. But like those stones have like magical powers or something, I think. Here's Omastar, looks like it's doing some kind of weird summoning ritual. I'm telling y'all, we got some crazy artworks back in the day. Here's the Magneton. Yeah, and then like Skyridge had something to do with these giant orbs. Look at that. So that's what it's looking at. It's looking at itself. There's the Mag Cargo. There's the Articuno again. One day. Typhlosion, okay. This one's cool. Again, kind of looks like a comic book. That's a Nintendo promo. Here's the Celebi again. I didn't realize there was a holographic version of this card. Huh. Got a Wurmple here from EX Ruby and Sapphire. The first set from the EX series. Trying to get some water. Got a Goldeen. Still on Ruby and Sapphire here. Caravana. Swimming through the current. Here goes Silcoon. This is kind of pretty. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a Silcoon fan by any stretch of the imagination, but this is actually kind of a pretty card for a Pokemon that's not all that interesting in my opinion. Got Electrike here. Still on Ruby and Sapphire. Sharpedo. Underrated Pokemon in my opinion. Underrated Pokemon. Seaking. Oh, Beautifly. This is pretty. EX Ruby and Sapphire. Yeah, look at that. Multiple ones in the background. Look at this Routes from Sandstorm. Look how detailed that is. I just love that hand-drawn aesthetic like this. God, it's a gorgeous card. Got Growlithe from Sandstorm. Having some afternoon tea. Curlia, Sandstorm. Here's this funny Vaporeon. Sitting on a lily pad, it looks like. Very cute. Still going through Sandstorm here. Golduck. Looking tough. Look at this Arcanine. That's beautiful. Looks like a feudal Japanese painting or something. Which I guess kind of works because like Arcanine's supposed to be based on like an ancient like Chinese tiger or something, right? Kind of goes together. Solrock. Basic but well drawn. I think that's what I really appreciate about Kusajima's work is just how much detail there is in like all these pictures. Look, you got Zangoose fighting Seviper here. That's an absolutely classic artwork. And this Sableye has always been one of my favorites. Lunatone here. Looks like it's outside. I think those are clouds. I don't know. Got Trico. Climbing some vines or something. Pineco here. Hanging out in the fall weather. Nincada. And like look how different like this card looks from like this last one. Like very versatile artist too. Definitely could do some different styles and that's something I appreciate. Houndour. Look, got the whole squad out there on the hunt. I like it. Vibrava, very standard. Ooh, here's a very stylized Seadra. We're an EX Dragon now. Here's a Horsey. That one's kind of nice too. Ninjask. Huh. Just climbing on the tree. Flygon. Surprised he didn't do more for this one. I love the new Flygon card from Phantasmal Flames though. That's one of my favorites. Got Machop here. I remember this one. Looking very jovial. Very, very ripped Machoke here. Getting swole. And then this Pinsir card I love. This is great. That's a beautiful Pokemon artwork. Then this swole Machamp here. Like this Heracross too. God, Kusajima's done so many cards. Weedle. Now we're in Fire Red and Leaf Green. Diglett. Look at all the colors on this card. That's great. I think this is one of my favorite styles he does, like when he does like this like kind of comic book type style. It just really pops. I love the colors. But then again, these more kind of like subdued cards that are like more ethereal, I guess, just like softer. These are really cool too, so I don't know. Look at this Kakuna. Looks like something out of an anime or something. Ooh, look at the Doug Trio. That's nice. Got Beedrill here. Oh, that's a sick card. Forgot about that one. Now we're in EX Deoxys. Got Plusle here, hanging out with Minim. And we got Minim hanging out with Plusle. So you get two different perspectives there. And look at this sick Magnetric. I like that. Look at all that smoke around it. That's cool. It's like thunderclouds. Claydol here on the attack. Not bad. Breloom. Going for a run, I guess. Got Whismur, not happy. Swablu. Flying through the skies with its friends. Nice colors. Old Love Disc. Looks like it's surprised by something. We got Doduo here. I don't know if I like this one. You can't really see the full Pokemon. Kind of strange. Loudred. Looking pretty upset about something. We got the Dodrio with a very similar art style to the Doduo. Exploud. Looks like it's using Hyper Voice or something like that. Oh, that is one of its attacks here. Oh, look at this Cyndaquil. That's cool. That's nice. Look at all that fire coming around it. Paralyzing Gaze and Fireworks. And we're in Unseen Forces now. Yeah, there was some good artworks in this set. Nice Chinchou. Scyther. He seems to like a lot of like these like purples and reds and greens and stuff like that. Got Lantern, that's cool. Typhlosion. Not bad at all. Poliwrath. Come on at us through the whirlpool. Larvitar. Now, where is it supposed to be? Looks like a rundown house or something, or some sort of rundown building. Are those like storage containers? I don't know. Definitely looks like the building's seen better days though. Oh, look at this Dratini. Again, like all these purples and reds and stuff and greens. Seems to be kind of his go-to. Fake Dratini there. Delta species. We're in EX Delta species now. Beldum. Oh, this one's really nice. It's almost like he kind of likes like the sunset aesthetic, is what I'm gathering from looking at these cards too, like with those colors. These are all kind of like sunset colors you see on many of these. Got bag on here. Fire type, that's cool. I think that's the building that's like turning the Pokemon like Delta species or something. I think that was part of like the story. Matang. Yeah, it looks like it's in some kind of weird building. Look at all those weird machines and stuff. That's strange. Got Dragonair here again at that sunset. Mighty Yena. So stylized. Got Marowak. Everyone's favorite ghost, Ghastly. Dunsparce. Going back to the more subdued, like just really detailed art style that he does sometimes. I like that. Comic book style. Golem. We're in Legend Maker now. Cradley. Oh, this Aerodactyl is sick. I've always liked this Aerodactyl. I should pick that up at some point. Legend Maker. Holland Phantoms. Trapinch. Getting up to do a little dance or something. His eyes are funny. Here's a Psyduck, not looking too happy. Always got that residual headache going on. Got Kabuto here. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. Again, like the purples and the oranges and the greens, I'm telling you. I'm onto something here. I'm not good at a lot of things, but I am good at picking up on trends. Anorith. Primeape. Oh, and this is the Gyarados that my brother has that I was looking at. I did a short on this card. That card is absolutely gorgeous. I gotta get myself one of these. Oh, and then the Squirtle right here. Man, look at that. I wonder how the reverse holo of that card looks. We're in Crystal Guardians, by the way. Oh, that Mudkip's nice too. Lots of crystals. Hence the name, Crystal Guardians. Lairon. More crystals. Venusaur. I don't know if I've looked at this Venusaur before that closely. Very different. Ooh, look at this Tauros. That's unique. God, it's jacked with those legs in front, huh? Look at that. Seal. Seen that one before. Routes. Nidoran. Dragon Frontiers, by the way. Bagon. What an action-packed artwork there. Little Baggins going in for the kill. Curlia. Oh, look at that Ladian. Steel type. That's cool. Dragon Frontier still. And then, of course, here's one of his most iconic artworks. The Ninetales Delta species. Probably one of the most beautiful Pokemon cards we've ever gotten. Especially for a card that's not like any kind of illustration rare. Can you imagine if they did like an illustration rare of this card? Like if they like brought this back for like the 30th anniversary or something? Like how incredible would that be? Like I wonder what would be down here. Such a gorgeous card. Magnemite. We're in Power Keepers now. Lileep. Oh, that's a really detailed Cacnea. Tell you what, like with some of his like artworks, you really get to see like how well designed some of these Pokemon are. I feel like Cacnea is definitely one of the better designed Pokemon. Vigoroth. An action-packed sloth. Nuzleaf. Look at this Raichu, that's cool. Somebody's texting the hell out of me right now, but whatever. Pikachu. Huh. Just playing in the field. Giving us an old wink. This is Diamond and Pearl Stormfront, by the way. Pupitar, looking very spooky there in the background. Magneton. Definitely not as cool as the one from Skyridge. Gengar. That's different. Definitely got that Starry Night type of aesthetic going on there. I'm sure people love that card. Drifblim. Zangoose. Looking very chubby there. Kind of funny. I'm wearing platinum now. Muck in the cave. Definitely like the one better from Aquapolis. Oh, but look at that Giratina. Now I know everybody loves the Giratina from Lost Origin, but I don't know, y'all. To me, this could be the best Giratina artwork. Either this one or the one from Crown Zenith. Those are my two favorites, I think. Like, this is just gorgeous. With that giant moon in the background. Platinum, that's amazing. Blaziken. Got Steelix there. Forget what this guy's name is. Jolteon. Serving up some sparks. Have some alliteration. Bastiodon. And here is one of his best works. Maloctic. The shiny rare. I love this card so much. I picked it up earlier this year. I've been wanting it for so long. Got myself a really clean copy, but just everything about this is just incredible. The clouds, the stars, the way Maloctic is drawn here. It's just one of the best Pokemon artworks. Supreme Victors is a good set. Skorupi. That's cool. Rosalia. Dancing happily through the flowers. Still in Supreme Victors. Got Piplup here. It's a funny one. God, who the heck is texting me? Corfish. Coming out of the water. Roserade. Giving us the old wink. Here's another beautiful Maloctic from the same set, Supreme Victors. I think it's meant to be like a sibling card to the Maloctic we were just looking at. As you can see, this is the non-shiny variant. Very pretty card, though. Rhyperior. I like this one. I feel like Rhyperior is an underrated Pokemon. Arceus. Fighting type 1. That's cool. Got Omastar here. Not quite as cool as the one from Skyridge, but still neat. Kabutops. Oh, look. Can you see the Kabutops in this one? Yeah, you can. Oh, look, there's the Kabutops. So these are like sibling cards. You can see the Omastar in the background. Never noticed that before. This is in Platinum Arceus. Coughing. Not quite as realistic as the old one, huh? I think I like this one better, though. Wheezing. Same thing. Vulpix. We're in Heart Gold and Soul Silver now, by the way. Moving right on through. Magmar. Numel. I love this camel. Just such a funny little guy. Ninetales. Looks like it's hanging out by the Tin Tower or something. Those banners. I don't know. Magmortar. Is it battling the Ninetales? Is that what's going on here? Maybe it is. Yeah, I think it is. Look, there's the ground. Like it's the same texture on the ground. I never knew those cards went together. See, this is the stuff you find out like when you look through like Pokemon cards by artists. Like you can find these sibling cards that nobody even knows about. I bet you a lot of people don't know about those two cards going together. Wailmer. That one's fun. Now we're on Triumphant, which is a Heart Gold and Soul Silver set. There's the Wailord. Got Magmar here. Blowing fire everywhere. Coughing again. Very comic book-esque looking. Wheezing, same thing. Another Magmortar card. Cling Clang. Means we're in Gen 5 now. Black and White Dark Explorers. Old Sandile. Hanging out at the construction site. Zweilous. Looks like it's inside N's palace or something, maybe. Ampharos battling it out. Is that where the Elite Four was? Is that where this is supposed to be? Kind of looks like it. Dragonair. Flying through the clouds, looks like. Got Unpheasant flying over the city. That's cool. Now we're in Black and White Boundaries Crossed. Skarmory also flying through the city. Is that the same city? I think that's the city where you cross like the bridge to go to it and like, yeah. What's the name of that city? But I think these are supposed to be in the same one maybe. These also might be sibling cards. I'm not fully sure, but they're both flying Pokemon. They're both over a city. And it's like they're kind of looking at each other. Galvantula. It's in that cave. Chargestone Cave, I think it was called. Vespiquen or Vespiquen. I always thought it was Vespiquen or Vespiquen. I didn't know it was Vespiquen. That's weird. Staraptor. Okay. So that's got to go with the other two birds. There's that bridge. Interesting. Grimer hanging out in the cave. We got Keldeo here. Again, look, the reds, the purples. I'm telling you. Lugia, X and Y promo. I feel like I've never looked that closely at this card before. It's not that great though, to be honest. Here we got a Gyarados from X and Y promos. Still like the other Gyarados better. The one from Holland Phantoms. Gallade. Kind of neat looking, huh? Seismitoad. That is a very strange looking Seismitoad. Very different than Conda's take on it, that's for sure. Licky Licky. Going in for the lick. Is it fighting someone there, or is that just food? I bet you there's a card that goes with that. Thundurus. What is it lifting up? It's lifting up an old car? I didn't realize Thundurus did that kind of stuff. I thought Thundurus just used electric-based attacks, but I guess it also lifts up people's vehicles and throws them at other Pokemon and maybe people. Jesus. That's wild. Pretty violent Pokemon. Honchkrow here. Gulpin. Still gotta get that Gulpin card with it's eating like the cake. I want that one. I think that was in Stellar Crown. Gotta get that. Here we got Crawdon here. Hanging out by the river. Sceptile. Well, this is kind of nice. Hanging out on this tree branch way up in the forested tree area overlooking the rainforest. That's kind of neat. I like that. Got Gliscor here, hanging out in some village, flying around. I always thought this Pokemon was kind of creepy, like when you look at it real close. Like, do you like Gligar? Like, Gligar is kind of a fun, silly little design, but this thing looks mean. Like, I would not want to see that thing at night. And it looks very tough, too. Here we got Xatu. Doesn't exactly look like Kusajima's work on this one to me. I don't know why. Ariados here. This one almost looks like a Nishida artwork. We got Florges. Where are we now? We're in Breakthrough XY? Okay. Magnezone. Kind of basic looking. Pansage. Looks like it's running around Lumio City there. Which would make sense because it is X and Y. Paris. I don't recognize this city. Alright, what do we got? We got Doublade. Zipstrika out on the field. Bronzor, pretty basic there. You can definitely tell when he's inspired and when he's not. Wormadam. Yveltal. Oh, look at this. That's wild. What is it sitting on? Is that supposed to be like the bad machine that like almost destroyed the world or something it's sitting on? Like, that's wild. Huh. I like the Sneasel. Kind of simple, but it's got a nice pose there. Acting like a true cat. Toxicroak. We're in Steam Siege, by the way. Kind of a neat one. Look at that poison on its claw there. Stay away from me, please. Crocodile. We're in Sun and Moon. Guardians Rising. Sudowoodo. Dancing around the forest. Scyther here. This kind of harkens back to some of his earlier artwork. Again, with the reds, the oranges, the purples. Get no complaints from me, though. And there's... Okay, I don't know why that showed up. That's weird. Is that all the ones it's going to show us? Interesting. Let's just check. I know that there's got to be some more recent cards, right? Were these his last cards? That can't be. Well, anyways, that's all that's showing up on the Dex app, but you definitely get the idea for why Kusajima is such a cool artist. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.